My mother-in-law announced at the dinner table that a real man hands his entire paycheck to his wife and called me a controlling failure of a husband in front of everyone. So I ended her little performance by pulling up exactly who'd been quietly covering her mortgage for the last 3 years. Her family flew in for a quick visit. 10 days. 10. We had a system that worked. I pull in $155,000 a year as an operations manager, gone from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. My wife, Nadia, works 12 hours a week teaching piano from our living room, maybe $14,000 a year. Early on, she told me she hated dealing with money. The bills, the accounts, the planning. So I took all of it. I pay every bill, run every budget, and I handle it quietly. She never has to think about it. It worked. We were never late on anything. The kids had everything. But the second her mother, Marlene, rolled her suitcase through our door, I knew the peace was over. Day 1, she inspected my kitchen and sighed. In my day, the wife ran the home. That's it. Just a sigh loud enough to fill the room. Day 2, she watched me pay the electric bill on my phone and frowned. You keep the money to yourself? That's how men trap women. Day 3, she started performing for the whole family. A real man doesn't hold the purse strings over his wife's head. My father-in-law, Wade, nodded along from the recliner like a judge. Nadia said nothing. Just gave me these thin little smiles like that made it fine. By day 5, I was grinding my teeth in my sleep. Marlene cornered Nadia in the kitchen, loud enough for me to hear. You should have access to your own household, sweetheart. He's controlling you. Like I was a warden, not her husband. I bit it back, kept the peace. Then came day 8. I'd been up since 4 a.m. flying home from a plant emergency 2 states over. Missed lunch, delayed flight. My back was screaming. I walked in and the whole family was around the table, mid-conversation. A conversation about me. Marlene didn't even lower her voice. There he is, the man who keeps his wife on an allowance. I set my bag down. Excuse me? She turned, wine in hand, smiling. It's time you act like a real man. Hand Nadia her own paycheck. Give her the accounts. Stop controlling this family. Wade added, you're a controlling failure of a husband. Our daughter deserves a partner, not a boss. I looked at Nadia. She had this satisfied look, like she'd been waiting for this. Like her mother's approval gave her permission. Something in me went quiet. I pulled out my phone, opened the banking app, the one with every account and every transfer. You want to talk about who controls the money? I said, calm as anything. I turned the screen toward Marlene. See this recurring transfer? $1,900 every month for 36 months. That's your mortgage. The one Wade stopped being able to cover after his layoff. Nadia asked me to help her parents quietly, so you wouldn't be embarrassed. So I did. The table went silent. That's $68,400 out of the accounts I control, I said. Straight into the house you're standing in right now. I kept going. I make $155,000. Nadia makes $14,000. I pay every bill in this house and every bill in yours. I took over the money because your daughter asked me to, because she hated doing it, not to trap her, to carry her. I looked at Nadia, whose face had gone white, and you sat there. You let them call me controlling while I was quietly keeping a roof over their heads. I turned back to Marlene. So here's your reality check. You're not living independent of some controlling man. You've been living rent-free off one for 3 years. Wade stood up. I didn't. You've got 2 choices, I said to Nadia. Tell them the truth right now, in front of everyone. Or I stop the transfer tonight and they can go home and explain to the bank why the payment bounced. Decide. The room didn't breathe. Nadia's voice cracked. She turned to her mother. It's true, Mom. He's been paying your house. All of it. Marlene's wine glass touched down without a sound. Wade sat back into the recliner like the air went out of him. And for the first time in 8 days, I stopped keeping the peace.